What's going on, guys? Mr. Jason back here again with another video for you guys. This one's going to be a review type video, and this is going to be a review for the Saved by the Bell Reboot series that I believe premiered on the Peacock TV streaming app yesterday, November 25th. Yeah, yesterday, because today's the 26th. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I got my laptop here in front of me to kind of give me a little bit of a refresher. I did binge watch the whole show yesterday, the complete first season, I'm guessing. I don't know if they're going to maybe continue it for a second. But I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it overall. It took maybe a few episodes to grow on to me. There's 10 episodes. I'd say maybe within around episode 3, going into 4 is basically where it grew more onto me. So I did drift off through some episodes. You know how that is, having background noise playing on your phone. But anyway, so I'm going to have a little bit here for a refresher. But from what I can remember, the first episode, it basically opens up with, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Zach Morris, as you all know him, going through like a narrating situation with him being the governor of California, talking about the Bayside High School and all that, and his son, Mac Morris, which is being played by Mitchell Hoog, I believe. That's what it says, Mitchell Hoog. Mac Morris is Zach Morris and Kelly's son in the show. So that's basically how the first episode opened up. And then it went into introducing, here and there, some of the kids. Daisy, I think Alicia. Is it Alicia? Not Alicia. Aisha. And it's funny, her real name is Alicia. But it is introducing all the kids. You got Daisy, you have Mac, you have Lexi, you have Aisha. You got Jamie, Devonte, Principal Ronald Todman being played by John Michael Higgins. He's been in a lot of comedy movies, I know that. And you have, of course, Jessica Spano, AC Slater, Colt Cassidy, Spencer Buckley. I think this is going off track now. That's not like the main characters. Basically, people that made appearances on the show. But the main people, like the first few names that I named. So the first episode basically does that. And the whole situation with the kids from the Douglas school, going over to Bayside for a little bit. And then it leads to them being sent back to Douglas. But I'm going to kind of just jump ahead a little bit. The rundown of the story from what I've saw on the show. It's basically the kids going from the Douglas school, which is more poverty, I guess, type school you can say. And they sent them over to Bayside while they worked on the Douglas school. And, a little later on into the season, you find out that the Douglas school is being worked on. I guess it's something that happens every year. Somebody that works for the state comes in, makes it like that they're going to try to work on the school, make it better. And it pretty much just rinse and repeat. It does not change. School gets redone, still stays the same, which is crap. And they just do it all for the pat on the back, pretty much. So that's the story of the school situation. So the kids are basically wanting to stay at Bayside, and they're doing everything they can to stay at Bayside. It all ties down into, of course, Zach Morris being the governor of California. And, of course, his son's going to Bayside. He becomes friends with these kids that are coming from Douglas. So, they all try to help each other. Each episode, they grow onto each other. Just like the original Saved by the Bell. They weren't all friends at first. They kind of didn't like each other within the first few episodes, and then they kind of just started to know each other and grew a bond. So that's kind of what they somewhat did with this series as well, being a reboot. And you got AC Slater, which is the gym teacher, and Jesse Spano is a guidance counselor. And there's no Mr. Belden, of course, sadly, but that's being replaced by John Michael Higgins, who was the principal of Bayside. And there's this, I think the lady's name's Jade. She works for the school as well. Or she's like a higher up in the school committee, I guess you can say. So, of course, the principal can only try to say so much for what he feels should be done. But basically, I'm going to give a rundown of how I felt about the show when I first started watching it, which is why I drifted off a little bit. The original, of course, is far better. And I just find it odd with this one. They don't have that audience laughter in the background. I don't know if maybe because of COVID, maybe they just couldn't have the live audience there for the show. I always thought the original one didn't have a live audience. I thought it was just like recordings just being thrown in. I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's just weird watching a Saved by the Bell show without that laughing in the background for the supposed funny scenes. And there's not really much music in between scenes, as you like with Saved by the Bell, the down, like between scenes changing over. They don't have that on there either. And the theme song, I will say though, is now hip hop. It took a little bit to grow on to me. At first it was weird, but it grew on to me. A lot of the music that they do use in the show is more hip hop related, I guess because the kids from Douglas seem more from the hip hop scene, I guess you can say. So they definitely are mixing a diversity situation in the show, and Lexi on the show is a transgender in real life. I think they mentioned transgender on one episode, so I believe they're actually what's the word I'm looking for? They're acknowledging that in the show as well, that it's a transgender. But that actor or actress, I should say, I feel like they're really, really dried in that show. I'm not one to talk because I probably got some dried personality on my videos, as you guys have seen in some of my previous videos. I'm getting better at it though. But they seem like a terrible actor. The last couple episodes, they seem to do a lot better. But at first, the way they talked, their acting, it was just, wow. It was, to me, I did not enjoy it at all whatsoever. So I do not like that character. But Devonte and Daisy are the two characters stood out to me the most. Devonte is one of the kids that, of course, Slater was trying to get onto the football team, but that didn't happen. He's one of the new kids from Douglas. And you got Daisy, who is the one who's always doing the timeouts. Okay, but yeah, she's the one that does the timeouts in the show. And she's the main, I want to say she's the main character. Which is weird because she's basically, I guess, the Kelly, oddly enough. She's the Kelly of the show because her and Mac Morris is somewhat created a bond together. And then you got Aisha, which made the football team. Yes, a woman making a football team. But like I said, they're basically putting a lot of diversity situations in the show. And Jesse Spano helping all the kids. Basically, all the new kids that are the main characters are Daisy, Mac Morris, Lexi, Aisha, Devonte, I believe Spencer, and Colt Cassidy. No, wait, that's not right. But like I said, I'm using my laptop here on a website to refresh my mind because I did drift off in some episodes, I say, but my overall review of the show, you're pretty much getting the basic idea of what the show was about. I enjoyed it. Overall, the original is way better. I expected more from the show. I know I should not have expected more, but I did. It was not as good as I thought it was going to be. And when I started watching it, I was like, wow. I mean, I'm still going to watch it because it's Saved by the Bell. It's an attachment. I love reboots, remakes. I'm one of those people that enjoy them for the nostalgia reasons. And they're not using Zach Morris or Kelly in every episode. They've only been in, I think, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. But of course, you got Jesse and Slater, who are pretty much in every episode because they work at Bayside, and that's where the show takes place at. But overall, I think everybody does great, except Lexi. I did not enjoy Lexi at all whatsoever. And like I said, the last couple episodes, she was doing fine. Maybe it just took a whole season for her to get good. So hopefully if they do another season, she's better. But overall, I did enjoy this series. I grew on to me. After a few episodes, it got better and better from there. The last few episodes I really was drawn into. That's where the emotion really started to kick in. I just thought it was very weird. Like, there wasn't much emotion or anything into the series. Pretty much halfway. It took the last few episodes to really make that emotion be felt, with all the stories and all that being drawn together, compared to the original where you pretty much felt emotion in almost every episode. And I also want to mention that they do bring up the Screech Powers situation. And there was talk, I saw articles that Dustin Diamond, I guess they were welcome to welcoming to bring him to the show if he wanted, but that still I think is like a toss up. But they do mention, I believe it was the second to last episode, Slater mentions Screech, I guess going into NASA or something like that. Or so Screech is lucky that him and Kevin got to live on the International Space Station and doesn't have to deal. All right, this is the quote. I'm gonna read it. Slater makes a remark to Jesse. He explains where exactly Screech has been. Screech is so lucky he and Kevin get to live on the International Space Station so he doesn't have to deal with all this. It's pretty much an episode where all the gang got back together, the original gang I should say. You got Lisa wasn't on the show. She was on the episode, but she was on the phone. They did a video call with her. She's doing her fashion design stuff like she did in the original show. She became big in that. But of course you had Kelly, Jesse, Zach, and Slater kind of getting on. It's been a while, so they like clashing a little bit. Then they go into Mr. Belding's office and they dug up some of the stuff from their I forget what they call them, like the time where they bury stuff in the ground and then years later they'll dig it up. I forget what they call that, but they did an episode related to that. So it led to Slater basically mentioning where Screech is, that he doesn't have to deal with all the fighting after all these years of not being together. I would also like to mention that there is a lot of nods to some iconic moments from the original series, with like Slater and Zach when they had a sleepover and they were singing that song ba 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 ranch, and they're doing a little dancing and all that. There's a nod in there, and then with the when Slater dressed up as a ballerina and did some special dance, there's a nod in the series for that as well. So there is quite a few nods and Easter eggs that you'll notice as you watch the reboot for the original series. I also forgot to mention, and now I'm going to edit this into the video, that Jesse and Slater are not together on the show. They're not together anymore, I should say. But Jesse does have a son with somebody else. You do see the guy she is with in the show. But her son is one of the students at Bayside High. You'll see that as you watch the show if you do. But I just wanted to give the heads up on that. But I don't want to sit here and ramble on way too much. Overall, I know it's probably not getting good reviews. I saw something on here. It got like a 4.8, I believe, out of a 10. Me, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. But going back to all the reboots that have been coming up, you got The Connors, you have Fuller House, Raven's Home, all these shows that are coming back for the nostalgia reasons. I will say Fuller House is the best one of them all. Saved by the Bell, I will say, is the second best. Girl Meets World was a flop. That is just done. That's a flop. But Connors is good. Raven's Home is so-so. I can tolerate that. There's just a whole bunch that they're bringing back. I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. Of course, some are going to be better than others. The originals will always be the best. So guys, if you are a fan of Saved by the Bell, I will recommend checking this out. Give the whole season a watch. I don't even know if it's a season or a series, but give every episode a watch. It might take a few episodes for you to grow onto, but right off the bat, Daisy and Devonte were the ones I grew onto the most. I do like Mac Morris. He's just like Zach Morris, and being his son on the show, they look identical. I guess that's what the point was. I would hope so. But overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys do. I wish I can give a more full-on review, but I am terrible at it, as you guys can see. I just did the best I could. Hopefully this gives you a basic rundown, and hopefully convinces you guys to go check it out. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, I'm sorry. I wish I could have done better. I will try my best to get better and better as I go with the years on my channel. If you're into unboxing, seeing my collections, food reviews, Twitch streams, Pokemon Go related videos, wrestling related videos, out and abouts, all types. I do it all. Please check it out. And if you're not subscribed, please do. And if you are subscribed, definitely already a thumbs up for that. Thanks for subscribing. And if you're not, if you do subscribe, thank you for that. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll stop rambling. Gobble, gobble, gobble. I'll see you later. Take care.